Welcome to HortTube. My name is John Putnam. In this video, I'm going to show you probably the easiest way to root almost any plant. Now, I'm not going to say every plant for sure, but a lot of the things that you would want to make more of in your landscape. This is a very, very easy technique to do that. I have a playlist on my channel for propagation. I have lots and lots of propagation videos, lots of different ways to propagate. This is just a very easy solution on bending a limb over into a container and rooting it right in the container. This can also be done by simply taking the branch and laying the branch down on the ground and covering it in mulch and it rooting right into the ground. Then you can cut it freely from the plant and dig it up and move it. But this technique right here, I cut some slits in the side of some containers, put some compost and a little bit of bark in them. It could have been just straight compost, would have been absolutely fine. I laid a branch into the container, I put a brick on top of it, and literally that was it. I could have done more, and we'll talk about that as we go, but I have not looked at these yet. I have no idea what we're about to see. This is a salvia back here. This is a purple flowering salvia, very, very attractive one. Should be extremely, extremely easy to root. This will be the easiest of all of the four things that I'm showing you today. I'm very confident that this is rooted into this container. So the way to go about checking, so again, all I did is I had these two slits in the container and there's a brick on top of it. And I already take the brick off, I can already see the roots in the container right here. If you get in there close stuff and show that, see the roots that were directly under the brick. So all I'm going to do now is just cut this free from the parent plant. Just like that. So I have a new plant, just like that. I can probably, this one's probably pretty well rooted. I can take it, yes, it's already holding the soil together just like that. So I can just take this and replant it upright, just like that. Or I can plant it just like it is and new growth will come vertical anyway. But that's it. I mean, this has been maybe 4 weeks. So this is just, basically a recycled container. I have damaged the container, but guess what? I can fill it again and make another plant. I can come over here to this Viburnum that's right next to it, fill it with soil, and put this branch in it, just like I did with the Salvia. And very quickly, I'll have a new Viburnum over here. So, okay, we're 1 for 1. I had no, honestly, I was going to shoot a video surprising myself, and so there we go. There's one new plant, easily created. Again, I could have just leaned this over on the ground and done it on the ground and then dug it out. But I like this technique of doing it in a container because now I can just go plant it where I want to plant it, or I can let it grow out a little bit in the container if I want to. Okay, in front of that is a variegated Hydrangea paniculata. This is a really interesting plant. Not very floriferous. Most Hydrangea paniculatas, right here to the right of the camera, there's a white wedding hydrangea. That's a paniculata as well in full flower. This one is really just grown for this foliage. I haven't gotten a flower on it yet. I guess I'll see one someday, but I don't really need it. The foliage is beautiful. But here we go. Bent this branch down into this container, put the brick on top of it, and again, right there. Look at this. Look how easy this was. I did nothing. I didn't even water these containers because we got a little bit of rain in the meantime, and that compost is actually kind of heavy. And so there's a little bit of perlite in this as well. I forgot that I did add a little bit of perlite. That was just to lighten up that compost a bit. So I need to add that to what's in here. That's the little white part that's in there. You can get perlite any garden center, box store. So again, we're going to cut this away from the parent plant. And just like that, we have a new plant right there. I don't know if this one's held together all that well. We'll find out. Good enough. Good enough. It's got roots going almost all the way to the bottom of the container. You see them on the side right here. You see all those beautiful, healthy roots. And again, this is just compost with a little bit of perlite in it. But you see all the roots on this. So this could just be planted straight up and down in the soil just like this. It's done. It's ready. Could be planted today, or again, it could be left in the container or planted into a larger container and just like that, be allowed to grow out for a little while. So we're 2 for 2. So let's move along. let's do a native plant real quick. This is a Viburnum nudum, native to the eastern United States. Fantastic flowering shrub that the birds love the berries on, the pollinators love the flowers. Again, just bent a branch over into a container here on the ground and put a brick on top of it, and here we are. There are roots right there. I had not checked it. So I'm gonna cut it away. I don't know how many roots are on it, but I can see enough. It'll be enough at this point. But there we go. I'm gonna flip this thing over, see if it's got any roots pushed down to the bottom yet. Do it carefully so all the soil doesn't fall off of it. But no, I don't think we have any roots showing very far down into this container. It's enough here to cut it away from the parent plant, but it probably needs to stay in the container for another couple of weeks. Get some roots pushed down to the bottom so that it holds together. And then it can be planted just like I showed you before, just like this, planted like this into a bigger container. Whatever the heck you want to do with it. Doesn't really matter, but this is literally the easiest way, in my opinion, to root a shrub of any kind, because it's mobile and ready to go. Could be done in the ground, but I like this technique of having it already in a clean potting mix ready to be transplanted. One more to check. Next up is a hydrangea macrophylla, typical mop-head hydrangea, usually blue or pink, depending on your soil pH. This one is actually already bloomed blue, and it's fading. It now has pink edges, and just really neat how this one is fading. I did the same operation over here, and if I pick up the brick, you can see that it is rooted. You see those roots on it? But it has not really attached itself very well to the soil. And so, I'm 4 out of 4 rooting them. But again, this has only been, 3.5 weeks or something. So basically, I'm just gonna cut this trench back in the middle of this container, and I'm gonna gently bury these roots a bit, and I'm going to recover it with the brick. And I'll wait about another week and a half or so to cut that one free from the parent plant there, but that'll be the plan. So 3 out of 4 were ready to be cut away. The 4th one is rooted, but again, it probably needs another week or 2 attached to the parent plant. 1 salvia, 1 paniculata hydrangea, and 1 viburnum, and 1 other hydrangea that's on the way. So this was just a quick and easy technique. I did not use any rooting hormone whatsoever. No rooting gel, no powder, no nothing. I could have stripped a spot, made a little wound where the branch was meeting the soil. I could have made a little wound, added a little bit of rooting hormone to it. It may have calloused it a little more. I may have initiated a few more roots. It may overall be a slightly better outcome with the rooting hormone. But what I wanted to do here was just show you that basically a pot that I have used several times, it's damaged now, but again, I'm just gonna do this over and over and over again with the same container. Making that little notch through there allowed me to lay the branch in some compost and a little bit of perlite. And the perlite again is in there just to keep that compost from staying too wet. It's probably about 1/3 perlite, which you can get at any garden center. But I believe this is the easiest way to root a branch of almost anything. And I say almost. There's probably a lot of conifers that would root very slowly, but a lot that would root well this way. So there you go. Quick and easy way to make new plants. Thanks for watching.